सखे मोरे पिया घर आए रे सखे मोरे पिया घर आए भाग लगे.
Imagine stepping into the largest gathering of human souls on the planet. A place where faith, chaos, devotion, and sheer logistical madness collide. Where a simple 25-kilometer ride can take 6 hours and Google Maps throws up its digital hands in despair. Welcome to Mahakumbh 2025, Prayagraj edition, where I, a mere mortal, found myself swimming, both literally and figuratively, in an ocean of humanity. Rewind to October 2024. That's when I, in a moment of divine enthusiasm and temporary ignorance, booked my tickets, blissfully unaware that this would be the Kumbh of the century. An event that occurs once in every 144 years. Not that I grasped the cosmic weight of it back then, but hey, turns out I was about to walk straight into history. Nice. My goals were simple. Photograph sadhus, soak in the chaos, hopefully return in one piece. Little did I know this trip would turn into a masterclass in how to take your perfectly planned itinerary, toss it out like yesterday's chai, and let chaos take the wheel. With style. The flight in, a vibe, mostly 40 plus, featuring posh IT Bangaloreans, Kormangla yuppies in athleisure temple wear, and Malleshwaram uncles and aunts radiating filter coffee with only moksha in mind. Indigo Airlines even signed off with Har Har Mahadev. The real adventure began not at the Sangam, but outside the Prayagraj airport. A humble 25-kilometer drive turned into a 2.5 hours lessons in patience, pothole navigation, and auditory endurance, thanks to the symphony of relentless honking. Google Maps completely bamboozled. At one point, it gave up trying to differentiate between the roads and river of pedestrians. I'm pretty sure I heard it whisper, "Best of luck," before glitching out. Thankfully, our cab driver was a Kumbh veteran. He took shortcuts so creative, Google might consider hiring him. We zipped through gullies, sneaked behind pandals, and I'm fairly certain we drove through someone's front yard. Finally, we reached Sector 25, our Kumbh village base camp. I was ready to collapse, but my mother, not a chance. "Chalo Ganga snan," she declared with the energy of a marathoner at mile 1. So off we went straight to Ariel Ghat, a tucked away spot on the quieter Yamuna side. It felt like a gentler version of the main Mela grounds, where people moved with purpose instead of panic. Pilgrims who had walked for days stood beside those with airline luggage tags still swinging off their backpacks. Mom, meanwhile, went full spiritual warrior, a prayer to Surya Dev, 3 textbook dips, and a wardrobe change like a pro. Me, I got distracted, not by the holiness of the moment, but by the heaps of clothes left behind. Turns out it's symbolic, shedding the old, starting anew. Spiritually beautiful, environmentally appalling. Respect Ma Ganga? Absolutely. But maybe a little love for Ma Bhudevi too? One of my favorite parts, watching the entrepreneurial spirit of Kumbh unfold. There was a priest, or maybe a common man, gracefully performing a river aarti, who immediately turned around and asked for dakshina from every passerby, like a spiritual waiter presenting the bill. The food court, a fevered dream of Sanskriti and samosa capitalism. Chai point, dominoes, and a guy frying aloo parathas so divine they could heal past life traumas. There's something surreal about sipping masala chai while watching 500,000 people chase moksha. And despite warning about pathogens in the water, my weak immune system and my aggressive street food binging, I came out unscathed. Clearly, divine protection comes with tamarind chutney. The morning of a Sangam snan began with an e-rickshaw that dropped us to the edge of the chaos. From there, we were on our own. Enter Jugad Mata, the bikers of Prayagraj. A traffic cop flagged down a passing biker, pointed at us and said, "Le jao inko." Just like that, we were off. Mom's first bike ride ever, my first in decades. We zigzagged through lanes even Google feared, arriving finally at our pontoon boat queue. But the river journey that followed was pure magic. We glided gently towards a sandy island near the famed nose of the Sangam. For a brief moment, everything slowed down. No traffic, no honking, just water, wind, and centuries of faith floating beside us. Now remember that photography plan? I had booked a tent at Kumbh village, lured by the promises of Akhada tours and Sangam access. What they didn't mention? Geography. The main Mela and Akhadas were across the river, making it difficult to fight through traffic and crowds to get there. Plot twist. After Magh Purnima, most sadhus had packed up and left for Kashi. Note to future self. Stay close to the main Mela side. Book before Mahapurnima. Pack comfy shoes and a flexible mindset and a sense of humor. The river may be holy, but the logistics, pure comedy. Later, on a quieter bend of the temporary island, we slipped away from the crowd. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and incense. But here, away from the frenzy, a hush had settled over the river. The water was rapid in some places, calmer in some, and much clearer, like it remembered you, as if it had seen your face before in some forgotten time and was gently reaching out. I stepped in slowly, the chill of Ganga curling around my ankles, then my knees, until I was waist deep, standing still. No rush, no rituals, just presence. Unlike my blink and miss it dip in Kashi 2 years ago, where chaos of the ghats had swallowed the moment before I could hold it. This time, I lingered. I let the water hold me. I let it carry the weight I didn't know I had brought. Around me, the river flowed with a quiet patience. Pontoon hop on, hop off boats drifted past like lazy thoughts, giving us all the time. There was no past, no next, only now. I watched devotees sit in silence, their hands resting in prayers or simply open as if offering their very breath to the river. And slowly I joined them, just sitting, breathing, whispering Shiva's name, feeling the stillness deepen with every heartbeat. And in that stillness, so vast, so full, it all made sense. Sadhguru's words, which once felt lofty and abstract, now landed with the softest certainty. This wasn't just a snan, a ritual bath, it was a quiet unlocking, a gentle tap on the soul's shoulder that whispered, "You are home." Now let's talk about bending reality. The entire event was practically built on social media and nearly undone by it too. Google Maps became every month's guru. But here's the problem. Rivers move, seasons shift. Our base camp Kumbh village, technically in the river, which is fine until the river remembers it's a river. Even the Sangam itself isn't exactly where you think it is. Ma Ganga charges in with purpose. Yamuna Ma ambles in fashionably late. Thanks to a random island in the middle, they don't meet where the GPS says they should meet. But honestly, it doesn't matter. Energies don't follow GPS. Our ancestors knew we were 60% water. They knew that river water was the best conductor for cosmic blessings. So if you showed up anywhere in Prayagraj and took a dip anywhere around the Sangam, you are tuned in. As our boat drifted back towards Sector 23, I reflected on the true unsung heroes of Kumbh, the motorbike daredevils. One hand on the handlebar, the other adjusting a rear view mirror that's more spiritual ornament than a functional tool. 2 or 3 pillion riders? No problem. Potholes, law of physics, common sense? Optional. Not everything sat well as we exited. While we clung to the motorbikes for dear life, VIPs were chauffeured to the ghats with police escorts. Meanwhile, seniors and genuinely needy folks were left to hustle and hobble. Dear organizers, maybe fix that next time? Because at Kumbh we are supposed to be equal, at least in theory. Next is the soul-stirring Ganga Aarti and the most heartwarming part of this journey. But that's not all. What follows is the snan at the sacred Someshwar Ghat, a moment of pure surrender, laughter and icy cold surprises. And woven into it all, the timeless story of the Kumbh Mela itself. Stay with me till the end. That is where magic meets mythology. What could be more fitting than a Ganga Aarti after a soul-soaking snan at the Sangam? Not only did we get to witness the sacred ritual, but we were blessed to be part of it. Our hands folded, hearts open, as chants and diyas lit up the river's edge. The entire ceremony felt like Ma Ganga was wrapping us in her embrace. What made the experience even more heartwarming were the two wide-eyed calves gently wandering near the Aarti's site. With their oversized ears and innocent curiosity, they added a layer of sweetness to the divine evening. Truly the most adorable calves I've ever met.
कंचन महल कियो जय लक्ष्मी रमना दुर्बल भील कठारो जिन पर कृपा करी चंद्रचूड़ एक राजा चंद्रचूड़ एक राजा जिनकी विपत्ति हरी जय लक्ष्मी रमणा वैश्य मनोरथ पायो श्रद्धा तज दीन्ही दो फल भोग्यो प्रभु जी सो फल भोग्यो प्रभु जी फिर स्तुति कीन्ही जय लक्ष्मी रमणा के कारण छिन छिन रूप धर्यो श्रद्धा धारण कीनी श्रद्धा धारण कीनी तिनको काज सर्यो जय लक्ष्मी रमणा ग्वाल बाल संग राजा वन में भक्ति करी मन वांछित फल दीन्हु मन वांछित फल दीन्हु दीन दयालु हरि जय लक्ष्मी रमणा चढ़त प्रसाद सवायो कदली फल मेवा धूप दीप तुलसी से धूप दीप तुलसी से राजी सत्य देवा जय लक्ष्मी रमणा लक्ष्मी नारायण की आरती जो कोई नर गावे तन मन सुख संपत्ति मन तन मन सुख संपत्ति मन वांछित फल पावे जय लक्ष्मी रमणा
शरीरं स्वरूपं यथा वा कलत्रं यशश्चारुचित्रं धनं मेरुतुल्यं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन लग्नं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं कलत्रं धनं पुत्रपौत्रादि सर्वं गृहं बान्धवा
With that lingering sense of serenity, we made our way back to our temporary home in tent city, our hearts full and our spirits lifted, already looking forward to what the next day in Prayagraj would unfold. For a temporary tent city, the Kumbh village did surprisingly well. The cherry on top, food catered by Taj Varanasi. But the real cake, the Linga Bhairavi temple where homas were conducted every evening. And then there was this tiny unassuming chai stall that stole my heart. Bun maska toasted over coal served with kullad chai. All the while being lovingly feasted upon by a battalion of mosquitoes. Spiritual bliss? Yes, but make it painful. And then came a moment that truly stood out. I had already been impressed by the police, ever helpful and patient, answering my endless questions. But one evening, as I was walking through the grounds, I heard sirens. 2 motorbikes with flashing lights zipped past, creating an electrifying buzz. Fire trucks on 2 wheels. They raced into Kumbh village thinking the fire was in our tent city. Turns out it was behind us and a small one. But their speed, urgency, and most of all, the ingenuity of having firefighting bikes, that was a sight to behold.
समालिङ्गता
third and the final day of our Kumbh Mela adventure, we visited Someshwar Ghat. My mom, deeply committed to the sacred rituals, took her third snan, while I, the less ritualistic yet fully immersed observer, chose to wade into the holy river, soaking in the sights and sounds instead of, well, soaking myself entirely. The sheer energy of the place was overwhelming. Thousands of devotees plunging into sacred waters, their face radiating unwavering faith. It's one thing to hear about the spiritual power of Kumbh Mela, but witnessing it firsthand is something else entirely. The belief that this one dip could wash away lifetimes of karma. Now that's a celestial reset button if I ever saw one. What's fascinating is how the snan transcends all barriers, caste, creed, social status, or even geographical boundaries. Millions of people from across India and beyond converge at Sangam with singular purpose: spiritual liberation. It's an ocean of diversity, different languages, different backgrounds, yet all united by faith. But beyond the spiritual aspect, the Kumbh Mela is an incredible cultural exchange. Strangers become temporary family, sharing food, stories, and faith. One moment you're standing next to a sadhu who's probably been meditating since before you were born, and the next you're chatting with a tourist from Africa who thought he'd signed up for a yoga retreat but somehow ended up in the middle of the world's largest human gathering. After a near transcendental experience at the Kumbh Mela, where I found peace in a crowd of thousands, we ended our journey with a travel nightmare. Our 1:20 p.m. flight seemed well within reach when we left at 8 a.m. to cover just 25 kilometers. Sweet, naive optimism. A monster traffic jam slowed us to a snail pace. 3 hours in, I was hopeful. 2 more, I was prayerful. At 12:30, just 1 kilometer from the airport, our car got a flat. Panic was no longer optional. While mom called it a divine test, I called it peak travel anxiety. Then came my Bollywood moment. I flagged down random cars like a heroine in crisis. One stopped. Not a taxi, just a kind stranger who drove us straight to the terminal. We reached at 12:45. Indigo staff didn't blink, checked us in, and somehow we made it to the flight. Mom calls it a divine intervention. I say God helps those who help themselves. She says that too was God working through me. So what do you think? Miracle or just quick thinking? Let me know in the comments. Kumbh isn't just about spirituality, it's about resilience, adaptability, and a million stories unfolding at once. Some profound, some hilarious, and some, like mine, involved an epic battle with traffic. But if there's one thing I learned, it's this. Whether it's the holy snan in the Sangam or a steaming cup of chai, every experience at Kumbh leaves a mark. And I, for one, can't wait to come back. Next time with better planning and a mosquito repellent that actually works. Before I sign off, for those blissfully unaware of the cosmic chaos that is the Kumbh Mela, here is a quick, light-hearted story just for you. Legend has it that gods and asuras once had a classic custody battle over Amrit, the nectar of immortality. After churning the ocean, Vishnu pulled a fast one on the demons and flew away with the nectar in his kumbh. In the process, a few drops spilled in 4 places: Prayagraj, Haridwar, Ujjain and Nashik. And voila! That's where Kumbh happens. Why 12 years? The Asuras weren't exactly known for patience or for respecting Garuda Airlines baggage policies. They chased Vishnu for 12 days and nights, which, fun fact, is equivalent to 12 human years. Because celestial maths is weird. The Kumbh Mela happens every 12 years to commemorate this event. The idea is that during this time, planetary positions align in a way that enhances the water's spiritual properties, like a divine recharge mode. Sri Adi Shankaracharya, the great Advaita philosopher, spiritual reformer, and let's say the original yogi, played a pivotal role in shaping Hindu traditions, including the grand spiritual carnival we know as Kumbh Mela. Back in the 18th century, when philosophical debates were equivalent of today's social media feuds, except, with actual wisdom. Shankaracharya revived and streamlined Hindu spiritual practices. He established the Dashanami Sampradaya and set up 4 monastic centers or mathas across India, making sure sacred knowledge didn't just sit idle like an unread WhatsApp forward. One of his boldest and arguably most epic moves was reinforcing the roles of akharas, the monastic warrior sects. Think of them as the original gym bros, not with protein shakes but with mantras, matted hair and a spiritual fire. These akharas later became central to Kumbh Mela, transforming it from mere mass bathing rituals into a holy background of ideas, devotion and sadhana. Because here's the thing, Kumbh Mela was never meant to be just about the snan. It's a rare opportunity to interact with the learned Akhada members, receive guidance, and deepen whatever spiritual practice or sadhana one is engaged in. The Shahi Snan or Amrit Snan days are the spiritual showstoppers. On these days, sadhus and akhadas bathe first, turning the Sangam into a kind of a celestial VIP lounge. The energy during these moments is considered exceptionally potent, not just because of the planetary alignments, but because of the sheer presence of realized beings whose vibrational energy is believed to be transmitted into the water. It's not just a dip, it's a spiritual immersion into tradition, transformation, and that, my friends, was the Kumbh Mela, part spiritual journey, part divine traffic jam, and 100% unforgettable. As they say, you find what you seek at the Kumbh Mela. I found mine. Did you find yours? Subscribe for more wanderings, wonderings, and the occasional dose of wisdom from the roads less taken across India.
मनश्चेन